One big family. That's what a lot of students have to say about Wofford and its community. What sets Wofford apart from other schools is our desire to know and accept each and every one of our peers, no matter who they are. One Wofford graduate has a personal story that proves this to be true. Dr. Hitesh Tolani recently visited Wofford and shared his story regarding immigration and how it made applying to colleges and getting in extremely difficult. But Wofford accepted him.
If it weren't for Wofford, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to come to college. They gave me the opportunity when no other school that I had gone into was able to extend that generosity.
In the wake of our nation's current political situation and the recent travel ban, Dr. Tolani felt that he needed to speak to Wofford students about the importance of welcoming immigrants to South Carolina and, more importantly, to Wofford College. I also talked with President Samhat about the immigration ban and his concerns for the Wofford community. Here's what he had to say.
Well, we were concerned that at least a couple of students might have been impacted by the ban. The first iteration of the ban, which was a very expansive iteration, included green card holders and others with visas. So we had some concerns. And my first responsibility is to the students and their well-being.
It impacts students in the sense that, like me, there are a number of Wofford students who are sons and daughters of immigrants, and some who are documented, and there might also be some who have parents or other relatives who are undocumented, and they're concerned about their families and what could happen in this current climate.
In his speech, Dr. Tolani said that Wofford was a sanctuary school for him during his time here, and that it gave him an identity. He said because of Wofford, he was given numerous opportunities he wouldn't have had otherwise, and because of Wofford, he has been able to achieve so much.
I believe it shows the excellence of Wofford. It shows how you have a person, Dr. Tolani, who overcame all these challenges and barriers and went on to medical school and eventually becomes a CEO as well. It also shows how a small community rallied behind this person who whose immigration status was in question, and yet you had folks of Republicans and Democrats coming together to advocate for this person. So I feel that it highlights a different story of Wofford.
I think it's important to have speakers come to Wofford no matter what view or background they represent. I think the more diverse speakers we have on campus, the more diverse perspectives they bring, experiences, and it's all part of the learning process.
President Samhat issued a statement earlier this year regarding the ban, and he said he believes it was a mild statement of concern for the well-being of Wofford students and the principles of intellectual freedom. He also stated that traveling is essential for the pursuit of knowledge and education.
Any thought that our students would leave campus on an interim experience and not be able to come back was not acceptable.
When President Samhat received backlash from some students about the statement he issued, he said he was proud of them and supported them in their debate for freedom of speech.
And in fact, I thought their debate and the resolution they themselves voted for by 16 to 15 reflected, in fact, freedom of expression and freedom of speech on an academic campus community, which is what we're all about.
Freedom of speech, along with diversity and inclusion, are just some key values that Wofford takes very seriously.
When I was on campus in 2000 to 2004, there were 90 people of African descent on campus. Okay, and I think that there were 3 other, and I was one of those 3 other. Okay, walking around today, I've seen people that seem to be from all parts of life. I've seen people here from South America. I've seen people of Asian descent. I've seen people of South Asian descent. I've seen just a variety of humans. And I think that's wonderful. I think that they're pushing forward on diversity.
After Dr. Tolani graduated, Wofford has only continued its support of immigrant students.
These are challenging times for immigrant communities in the United States.
But the United States has continuously brought in the best of the best, or hard-working individuals. And to immigrate to the United States is not easy. In order to do it, you must be at the top of your game. You must overcome hurdles. You must overcome, financial hardships, and then you somehow get to the United States. And what you're bringing with yourself is incredibly, vetted work ethic. And so we are bringing in these people who are incredibly hardworking and have this desire to forward their futures, and they're bringing in a different perspective, different ideas, different innovations. And that's why we're a country of probably the strongest, research and the strongest innovation and the best companies and the best education institutions, because we continuously bring the best of the best ideas, the best work ethic into our country. We do have an immigration problem right now, and there are a lot of students who may be undocumented who were brought when they were children, like I was. For us, we fell into a crack, which was due to some laws that didn't exist, but they're children who were just brought here by their parents illegally to start with. But they were brought without having knowledge of it, and they didn't make that decision. But now they're here, and they're just as American as anyone else who was born here.
Dr. Tolani's story is it's part of Wofford's story, and I think it's important to recognize that.
Dr. Tolani's story is incredibly inspiring, not just for Wofford students, but for all Americans.
Allowing people to have the ability to reach their potential is what America's always been about.